Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode of
Rating Arizona
Beers. And it's hosted by King's Beer and Wine
on
Central and Thomas.
In Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys want a great beer and great tap selection and beer selection, wine, mead, cider, sake.
All of it. Hi.
Come down to...
Sarah was just checking.
Yeah.
She was just looking. She's like, everything good? What do you guys need? Wine? Beer? Mead?
Yeah, come down to King's Beer and Wine for sure. I mean, great
awesome
spot.
People.
Yeah.
Awesome people.
Yeah.
Mark and Sarah run a really great organization here, a great tap room. It's my daughter's favorite tap room, she said. Yeah. And, you know, you got Alec the beer boy, who knows his shit.
Knows his
and,
stuff.
A few other great team members that they have. But, yeah, King's Beer and Wine, just I love these guys. So thank you guys for having us in and letting us drink and review the beers that you guys sell here at Central and Thomas.
Absolutely. We are your hosts. And this is the great Eric Walters.
I'm going to start adding in a light every time that my...
You don't need to, man. You're always all lit. And my name is Marcus at Brewery 602, if you care.
You do, and you should. I saw that you put out a review. Was it a Tombstone beer?
I did. I did. Well, yeah, I did the Tombstone Kitsune collab.
Yeah.
The Geki. What is that stuff? It's
a sour.
It's a sour ale. Yeah. I can never. Tyler, help me out, brother.
Come on,
you got to
man.
name your beers a little bit. Something easy, man. I mean, some of these Japanese and
it's cool, right?
Yeah.
But we want to say it the right way.
I want to say it.
Tyler and
yeah.
Tyler,
it's a kakigori sour ale.
Okay.
With like a bunch of every berry imaginable went into that thing. I think even in my review, I was like, berry manilow, berry white, Halle Berry. I was like,
Berry Goldberg, Houseberry.
I was just like, man, there's so much berries in this thing. Anyways, let's go for it.
Marcus Brewery 602. Make sure you follow him on Instagram and YouTube. I love your beer reviews, man. Like your insight into the products themselves. What I love about you, Marcus, is that you have great relationships within this industry, but then you can also bring the other geeky beer side and really tear these beers. Not want to say tear these beers down, but break these beers down in a way that it lets you know, like, okay, why is this hoppy, right? Because I tend to describe things as, oh, that's really hoppy or that's really malty. I love how you bring those just that knowledge to this thing. So
thank you.
Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube and Instagram as well.
Yeah, awesome. And today we have a beer out of Huss Brewing Company. I mean, this is Koffee Kolsch.
This is like talking about a light, talking about, this is one of the Arizona beers.
This is one of the Arizona, Koffee Kolsch, 4.7% ABV. Huss Brewing Company's been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
in Arizona time, right?
Right. Well, Arizona time, right. Arizona's not that old.
20 years, 15 years, maybe?
Probably more. Yeah, I would think more, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because they're before Four Peaks, right?
No,
they came in after Four Peaks.
Yeah, it came in after Four Peaks.
Just after Four Peaks.
Yeah, either way, just Huss's. Well, it kind of had to start with Papago Brewing.
Yep, Papago.
Go back in the past. There's an episode that I did with Leah and Chip at Huss in like 2017, 2018. Kind of tell their story. I want to get them back on the show because they have that new downtown spot. At the Civic Center or whatever. Yep. That looks badass.
They have 3 locations now? Is that it? Or that's the third?
They have the facility with the tap room, which is the original. They have Uptown, and now they have the Civic Center. Yep. Super excited.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
I haven't been to
Lee
Civic Center. I've been definitely been to Camelback.
Yep.
And Central. What is it? Yeah, Central and Camelback.
Uptown one. Yep.
Yeah, and I've also, of course, Tempe as well, because that's close to my place. Actually,
that's the OG right there.
Yeah,
that's the OG. But yeah, Koffee Kolsch is that one that's a segue beer for a lot of people.
Yes.
That was my wife's. From what I remember, that was the first like craft beer that she liked. She grew up in Minnesota. She loves Mick Golden Lights. That's her thing, right? Because you can't get them out here, so we go to Minnesota. She's like, Mick Golden Lights. But craft beer wise, this Koffee Kolsch was the first. She's like, dang, this is good. So
I'm excited. I've never reviewed the beer. I've had it a ton of times.
Yep.
And to the point where I just don't even have it anymore just because I've had it so many times.
Me too.
So yeah. And it's a Kolsch style ale. So love me a good Kolsch too. So
what is that? What identifies a Kolsch compared to a Pilsner or the
yeast for sure.
Okay.
For Kolsch a cold fermented ale.
Okay.
So it's almost lager-esque, So I mean, your lagers, we like to tend to ferment those. It's a bottom fermenting yeast.
Okay.
But we tend to ferment those, in the 50 degree range, 48 to 52 kind of area.
Okay.
Most ale yeast is above that, usually in the 64 plus,
Gotcha.
Where Quebec will go up to 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But so Kolsch is cold fermented.
Okay.
So you could, get down to 58 degrees, 55 degrees to ferment the Kolsch ale. And it comes out, nice and clean, real nice, clean aromas, just a real light beer. And the really cool thing about Kolsch, too, is what's German, right? So Kolsch, Germany.
Yeah.
So the really funny thing is we can't really call beers Kolsch here.
It's like Pilsners, right?
Right.
You can't, unless it's brewed within a certain
Yeah.
parameter. So
Yeah, I mean, we could do what we want, right?
Good for you guys.
But technically,
Hell
what I like about see, pouring,
Come on,
man, pouring beer
man.
out. That
For our
was beer
homies. That's
foul.
for our homies.
But I love the fact that they put on here Kolsch style ale.
Oh, yeah, they say Kolsch style ale.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I love that. And let's pour it before
Let's
I
do it.
spill it all over the place.
Spill that into my glass, please.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, one thing I haven't even, this is just from experience. I know already what I'm going to get from this this aroma.
You could get from right here.
Yeah,
We are just walked into a really good coffee shop
for sure.
And I don't drink coffee anymore. I haven't drank coffee for like a couple years now.
Really?
But but
You're about to.
I'm about to drink. I'm gonna get all crazy. Yeah, I'm
This is
gonna
going
get
to
all
be the
wired.
quickest review ever.
So beer comes in crystal clear Kolsch. It does look like a Kolsch. It's
Yeah.
crystal clear, bright is what we call a clear beer. Is a bright beer, and it's probably still unfiltered, but it's very bright, really tight, compact white bubbles on this thing. It looks just wonderful in the glass.
It really
And
does.
I don't really need to get a drive-by aroma because the aroma is
Driving by you.
driving by me. It just punched me in the face. Let me try it out.
Here's what. So doing the episode with Jeff Huss is huge on German style. Like that's his wheelhouse and what he really is interested in. So to hear him talk about the Koffee Kolsch and the way that they steep the beans in with it's just really cool, and it makes sense why it tastes the way that it does, right? Because a lot of coffee beers that you have, I feel like I'm jumping ahead. Let's hold on, because we haven't even got to the taste yet.
Because we know what we're going to get. That's why we could talk about this beer and do all this stuff without even tasting it. But let's get a taste on it. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you to King's Beer Wine.
King's Beer and Wine, Huss. We're about to let you know what's up.
Are they going to let us know what's up?
Yeah,
Because that's so good.
I know it is. Dang. No, that is.
Golly.
It is okay. So what do you get? What do you get, ma'am?
I get coffee. I
Yeah.
get a lot of. I
Yeah.
get fresh green, just fresh coffee. Like it's not even. I think this was canned in February as well, and that coffee should be fading at this point.
Sure.
And it's not. I mean, it is as fresh as the day they pulled those coffee beans out of the beer. Because I mean, it is just clean. The really cool thing is I do get some vanilla as well.
Yes.
So you almost get like the coffee creamer
Yeah.
in there as
Yeah.
well, which is maybe that Kolsch is
Yeah.
bringing to the table that creaminess, that coffee creamer kind of thing. But
What says cold steep with freshly roasted caramel and hazelnut coffee beans. So that could be it, right? So not even the addition of like a sweetener, but more in just how the beans are roasted.
yeah, that vanilla kind of character is probably is that,
Yep.
absolutely just
So good.
off the charts delicious.
It really is. It's one of those things where, I don't know. A lot of times when coffee beers can be multiple things in my mind, right? Sometimes coffee beers are latte beers, right? Like they're just super sweet, they're super vanilla, and it's a coffee drink, not a coffee beer. Where I
right.
feel like this one it's especially in the aroma, it has like you said, like a really good coffee shop, right? Like a coffee shop that you can get drip black coffee that is just off the charts, fantastic. That's what I love about it, because it doesn't remind me of like a macchiato or a cappuccino. It reminds me of a good cup of good coffee.
Good cup of Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had a coffee imperial stout on Saturday. I was brewing, and a buddy of mine came over, and from Innocence Beer Company, Grant, if you're watching, hey.
Heck yeah.
And he brought over some beers to have at 9 o'clock in the morning. Thanks, Grant.
Brew day.
It was a great brew day, the parts I remember. And he brought this massive coffee-infused beer,
Of theirs that they made?
No. This
okay.
is one he gets. I forget where he got it from, but it was like an oil can. And, he's like, oh, it's coffee, breakfast. Like, I guess so. We'll have a beer at 8:30 in the morning. And
9% beer.
yeah, and so we crack it open, but we both were not digging it at all.
Really?
And
okay.
it was, it was like green coffee bitterness.
Yeah. That's not good.
Like just not the right kind of coffee, not the right vehicle for the coffee they were using.
Yeah.
It just kept fighting with itself. This thing here is like, and I hate using the word balanced. It's just that word drives me crazy in brewing.
I use it a lot too on the
Everyone's
show.
like, oh, this is well balanced. Like, shut up. This beer is like coffee. It's like the essence of coffee, a good cup of coffee, and a really well brewed Kolsch,
Yeah.
which is nuts.
Do they do a regular Kolsch? Huss, do you
I've
guys
never-
do a regular Kolsch?
I think they do, but I don't think I've ever had just a base Kolsch from them.
Okay.
I've had, well, like I said, I love Huss,
Yeah.
and I've had a ton of their beers, and ever since, like you said, Papago kind of went away, and Huss took over Cherry Blossom or Orange Blossom, sorry. Oh, I guess they do have a Cherry Blossom.
Yeah.
So Orange Blossom, and of course, oh man, what's the other one? I'm missing. There's one other beer, Papago. Oh, Coconut Joe.
Oh yeah, Coconut Joe.
Those two beers were like big time, like favorite beers of Arizona beers. But this thing here, man, holy crap!
Yeah, dude. It's rare for you to find somebody that doesn't like the coffee Kolsch, right? And if they say they don't, they're just trying to big time you and say, "Oh yeah, no, it's too easy to find."
Yeah, you go to their house and then their whole refrigerator is full of coffee Kolsch.
Exactly. No, I think it's such a great beer. I can't. I wouldn't be able to drink more than one of them, just for my own palate, my own taste. But I love that beer. I really do. And we're spoiled because we have. I mean, Huss alone. You go to a beer store and there's 6, 8 Huss beers, right? And you look at the whole coolers, and I mean, King's Beer and Wine, we got 79 taps here.
Right.
No offense to this beer, but I just don't order it.
Right.
Really ever, because there's so many ones out there, and but always come back to the appreciation and the respect that not just being an iconic Arizona beer, but then being a good iconic, right? Because there's some things that are iconic that are just like, it's cool because it's cool.
It's definitely, I would say it's definitely, man, I would have to say top 5 as far as like when beer nerds think of Arizona beers, or Arizonans even think of craft beer in Arizona. I mean, can you really even name? I mean, Coffee Kolsch is like. I mean, Orange Blossom. I mean, that's another one. That's a big one around town.
Yeah, it really is.
So I mean, golly, it's such a good beer, and it holds. It holds its weight against other craft beers. So.
And it flows. The name Koffee Kolsch. Coffee Kolsch. They even spell coffee with a K.
I know. So
Koffee
cool.
Kolsch.
So as far as coffee-infused beers, what would you rank this at?
Dang, man. 9.5. 9.5 for sure. I mean, and here's kind of what, we run into sometimes in beer reviews or feedback on beers is we tend to kind of take some points off because of accessibility, right?
Right.
Like, oh man, I can get that anywhere. That can't be a 9.5.
Right.
I don't give a shit where you can get it. Exactly. Like that is a 9.5 beer. You could have some limited edition, Tombstone could put out 6 cans of this right? It's still, this thing still stands up. The test of time, the way that they can, I mean, they steep the beans in the like it's not like they're throwing a bucket of some sort of extracted coffee. Like they're steeping the beans in the so that's a process, right? And so to be able to produce that at the mass level that Huss can do it, and dude, like you said, what is that, 4 months old or so?
Yeah,
and still just rocking, man.
Delicious.
Still rocking. So yeah, 9.5. That like. No hesitation.
I'm for coffee infused beers, and again, I don't drink coffee anymore. But when I did, I liked black coffee. I liked just a good cup of black coffee. I would go like 9.8. For coffee infused beers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's hard to find a beer that has that great coffee character and a great beer character. It's usually one or the other. That's a good beer. The coffee kind of got in the way, or this coffee's overpowering.
Yeah.
Man, it's just delicious.
4.7%.
Plus, you guys are killer, man.
Hell yeah.
Love you guys.
So. Love what you guys are doing. Keep it up. If you guys are listening, if Huss is listening to this, do you guys make a Kolsch? And it could be as simple as like, that's a Scottsdale Blonde, right? And I'm like, would that be no?
That's Blonde Ale, not a Kolsch.
So, Huss, if you guys are listening, do you guys have the Kolsch just straight up? Because we would like to come in and try it. Absolutely. Sure. But no, keep kicking ass. Love what you guys are doing. Love you guys as people and just what you're doing for this community. Yeah. And
maybe that'll be the first episode of rating Arizona breweries.
Oh, dang. I like that one too. I like that. All right. Well, that's a day though, right? Because we're okay, we're going to rate so-and-so today. They have 18 beers on tap. We'll see in a little bit. That goes to Marcus. Marcus has a concept, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. We're figuring out the logistics of that, but I like the idea, man. I like the idea. Koffee Kolsch.
Heck yeah.
Huss Brewing. Nice work.
Yeah, and thanks a lot to King's Beer and Wine for hosting us. We do appreciate it. I mean, place is amazing. For sure. If you haven't been here before, please do come down here. And if you come down here because you watched this episode, let them know. I mean, they would really appreciate it. They're doing a great job here. So make sure you show them some love and show us some love too, For sure. For sure. You can reach out social media. If you go to tapthataz.com, on the side of the page, there's a little button that says leave a voicemail. Click on that. Leave us a message. Let us know if you've drank some of the beers that we reviewed. If there's some that you want to, hey, here's a beer for you to review, right? Whatever you want. Let us know what you guys think. But as always, we appreciate you. King's Beer and Wine, thank you. Huss, nice work. There's a little bit left in the can, but there you go. Thank God.
Shit. Marcus is off he's on the caffeine train again, man. Dude, it's about to get weird.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.